On the Rez podcast, he is the low. Talking dirty secrets, spilling all the juice. Got the mic on fire, ain't no truce. Rez got the questions, Jimmy got the bars. Twisting up the soul, leaving mental scars. Talking about the highs, cash flow in the rhyme. Rez and Jimmy's convo, night touch the tide. Jimmy on the mic, laughing at the pain. Rez a Joker bang, messing with the brain. Twisting up reality, joking about the fame. Podcast talking crazy, never plain tame.
Now that's a Jimmy victory, boy. I'm not letting you shit ever get fucking I'm with y'all.
Build up.
Jimmy, what are you doing? Jimmy. That bitch's pussy smelled like shit.
I'm done playing your games. Where's Abby's body? Tell me now.
It's being boiled behind the metal walls. I've told you this.
What do you mean it's in the walls?
Green penis.
Damn it, Jimmy. What does green penis mean?
Chimp.
Damn it, Jimmy, stop calling me that. I'm trying to help you, Jimmy. I know you're sick. What the Utah programs did to you was wrong. I can help you. Just tell me where Abby's body is, and let Trish go. We'll stop the Utah programs.
Listen here, you good mythical morning viewing cuck. Kill yourself right now, you're not going to be able to breed.
I'm trying. I know you're sick. You're not a bad guy.
You don't fucking scare me. I'm not telling you, it's already been sold as a succulent Chinese meal after a nice slow boil. Bird flu has already touched down in California. Do you think that's a coincidence?
I don't know what that means, Jimmy.
Maybe if you just quit sucking dick for 5 seconds.
I'm not sucking dick, Jimmy! Stop it! Damn it, Jimmy. You've been talking about joking for 3 hours. What the hell is joking?
Wouldn't you like to know, it?
Okay, seriously, Jimmy? Would you stop calling me that? It's starting to hurt.
You like to know, queer boy?
Where'd he go? Where is he? Where is he?
How's it taste, queer boy?
Okay, there it goes.
Hey, what's up, man?
Oh, nothing much. I like your Mewtwo poster.
Thank you. I actually painted that, believe it or not.
Oh, yeah, shit, man. You did a good job.
Thank you, man. I never had a Mewtwo growing up, so I was like, I'm gonna make my fucking own. I painted that one, too.
Oh, nice.
Thank you, sir. That's actually dead Jason Todd Robin right there.
Oh, that's when he... Oh, that's a badass painting, boss.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Did you also paint the One Punch Man one?
Yeah, I sure did. Yeah, that one was like, 7-8 years ago, but I'm so proud of that one because I took forever on the lining. And I painted that fish tank one too.
Nice. I remember as a kid, for the longest time, I thought Blastoise's name was Shell Shocker. I grew up with, no cable, so I had Kids WB, and I was a huge fan of Cardcaptor Sakura. But because I thought reading was gay, especially until, 3rd grade, I was like a kindergartner. I remember going to Happy Harry's. I just grabbed Pokemon the first movie. I think in that that battle in the beginning, one of the trainers nicknamed their Blastoise Shell Shocker. So for years after that, I get made fun of because everyone was like, no, that's not his fucking name, you idiot.
Oh yeah? Well, watch when you start the game and you name your Pokemon Shell Shocker, you could shove it in their fucking stupid faces.
Good point.
How you doing today, man? Having a pretty chill day so far?
Oh yeah. No, I just got done doing 6 12-hour shifts in a row overnight. So I just crashed and was out for the longest time.
Hell yeah, man, putting in that work. Shit, and you work in a boiler factory?
No, so it's a lumber mill, and to heat treat the wood, we have a 3-story boiler and a little steam turbine to power the kilns to heat treat the wood. So I just run that. There's like a bunch of different other side stuff. Since I'm the overnight guy, I have to turn off the fuel, which is wood chips, wait 15 minutes for them all to burn off. Then I shut down the boiler. I actually have it on my YouTube, just like a quick example. Then I take this giant metal rake, stick it in there, and just scrape it out.
Man, you and Greg are no stranger to some hard labor, man.
So this is the first time you can actually see all the fuel going into the boiler. Now the globalists will have you believe that somehow Anne Frank fit into this tiny spot to be put in the oven. I'm just not buying it.
Oh no, like I was a farm kid. My dad was a labor attorney, so it was more so, the farm was more so for fun, but especially as I kept getting older and older, my dad would have me do all the farm chores, and a lot of them were like OCD. So for example, we would have cows for beef. And it sucked because I'd have to feed them, and there'd always be one cow who was super friendly and another one who was super shy, so I'd go to feed them, and the one would give me kisses. But I can safely say the slaughterhouse we did send them to was a really chill place, like where they just let them sit for like a few days and like feed them and like just really make sure that they were nice and calm and happy. Then just gently take them to the pen, make sure they're nice and calm, bolt to the head, and then like off to the slaughter.
Yeah, because if they're freaking out, doesn't that like taint the meat if they're like freaking out and stressed out?
Yeah, because it's a combination of adrenaline being all through the muscles, and like the muscles will be really, really tense. I mean, we've all seen Vive leaks, so you know how if someone's in the middle of doing a really stressful activity where they're using all their muscles, and they get shot or something, like you can still see they're dead, but like the muscles stay tense. Like, I know not too long ago, there's actually some morgue worker, a female, who got busted for getting impregnated by one of the dead men. Because that's another thing that happens if you're a dude. Like, I guess some dudes, when they die, like, they get a death boner. It's just interesting because it's like, I guess biologically we're conditioned to where that stuff will still work a bit after we die.
It's like, you ever seen Clerks 1?
Clerks 1. No, I've been meaning to, honestly. I've seen Clerks 2, and I've only seen parts of Clerks 1.
Watch Clerks 1 and remember what you just said about that. You're gonna fucking die laughing, dude. I can't wait to see what you have to say about that. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Rez TKF Podcast. Today we have a very special guest. You may know him as the Joker of Fishtank.Live, the medic who saved everyone from starvation on season 2.5, and the only guy who can swing a hammer better than Thor. That's right, we have Jimmy of seasons 2 and 2.5 of Fishtank.Live. Jimmy, how are you doing today, man?
I'm doing all right. Just got done doing 6 12-hour overnight work days in a row, but hey, I had to do it, and hopefully my paycheck will be dummy thick from it.
Hell yeah.
If the federal government doesn't take, sometimes apparently they'll take like half your fucking paycheck if you work over a certain amount of hours. I think it's like 56. Makes no sense.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the less we work, the less they tax us, but it's like we're trying to make fucking money, dude, and the more we work, the more they fucking tax us out, and we're losing like more than a quarter of our paycheck. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's not even to anything good. If you want to get an addict to stop being an addict, and you just make it damn near impossible for him to get the drugs, and then you'll get those jerk-offs where it's like, oh, well, they'll still find it, yeah, but they have to go somewhere fucking else, you know? Like, and at that point, it's like, by the time they make the money to travel, I don't know, all the way to the West Coast or something, they might be clean enough to be like, hey, I like having money and not being fucking strung out all the time.
Have you seen that show Nathan For You?
Yeah, I think I have seen bits and pieces of it.
Bro, so there's like one scene where he makes people, you can get like a big screen TV for $1, but the catch is you have to go through this tiny doorway, and in the doorway is a live, living, for real fucking alligator or like crocodile, and you have to go past the crocodile to get to the TV, and if you get to the TV, you get your $1, but it's like, what if we did that with junkies? We'll put their crack and their meth in a tunnel full of alligators and crocodiles, and it's like, hey, if they get it, they earned it. They'll fight them off when they're coming back.
I know that's like an original idea. I don't know who originally came up with it, but I would be down for like the junkie Olympics or like the drug Olympics, where it's like just have it in a state and just be like, okay, listen, take whatever drugs you want. We want to see how much the human body can push itself.
So, Jimmy, tell me, man, what do you like to get into around your neck of the woods? Like, what does a week look like for you? What do you like to do for fun? What do you normally get into?
I mean, shit, man. Honestly, outside of Fish Tank, my life for now is pretty boring. I'll list shit on the Hoarderman Shopify. I've been lacking on that just because I've just been outrageously busy. I mean, you can see in the Hoarderman vlogs, I started cleaning off the top of his porch finally, and let me tell you, like, that shit's rotted, like...
Hi, yes, we're back at Hoarderman's. As you can see, it's very snowy, and I have holes in my Timbs. But anyway, as you can see, we're back at it again, at Krispy Kreme, getting all this stuff off the top of the porch. How are we gonna do it? I don't know.
Anytime I scrape something off with the rake, there's just the floor of the porch comes off with it.
Like an avalanche of relics and artifacts just piling down?
Just because, you know, if it was relics and artifacts, I'd have to find a place to store them, but it's like the man's got 3 campers full of just antiques and other shit. His whole garage is full. His barn is a death trap, but that's full of antiques and relics. So it's like, there's no place to store anything.
For anyone interested in joining the Hoarderman's crew, you will not be required to put yourself in any danger whatsoever.
I have to ask, man, how in the world did you link up with Hoarderman in the first place? Because this whole process, including himself, it seems to be a really big part of your life and something you take, obviously, very seriously. How did that first come about?
Well, so it really was divine fate in a funny way. I was going to work. I used to be a dishwasher and a prep cook at this restaurant. They sadly closed actually about a month ago. And, you know, I was on my way to work. I arrived there and I was like, you know, I was waiting for everyone to show up and I was doing everything. And I was like, just hit up my boss and was like, hey, yeah, we open today. And he said, nah, we're closed today. So I drove back home. I picked up I just moved into my new place and I found like a free dresser on the side of the road. So I picked that up, and him and his wife's car alternator had broken down and they had pulled over right in my apartment's parking lot. They asked me for a ride home and I said, sure, but can you help me move this in? Then he noticed that I kind of had like my own little collection of like, you know, VHS tapes, video games, some other little antique stuff that I have decorated around my house. So we started talking about that and he did buy the collection. I drove them back to their place. I have a funny story after I finish this of bad luck of one of the Hoarderman crew members meeting up with someone who turned out to be a bit of a weirdo.
Oh, I also got to tell you the funny story of my bad luck. So I have one member of the Hoarderman crew trying his luck at his local flea markets with different wares, and he thought he made a good connection of a guy who was really into old tech and speakers, but then the dude just started sending him dick pics and thirsting after him. So unfortunately he just got hit up by some so no sales on that end.
So after that, they smoked me up with weed.
I have to ask, did Hoarderman have some dank weed?
Oh yeah, no. Him and his wife are huge stoners. He was raised by hippies. His mom and dad taught him how if you're gonna grow weed, you do it in little flower pots. The plants never grow any taller than like 3 feet or something, but if the cops come, then you just pick them up and run. Once it becomes federally legal, I'd like to make my own weed strains, but because it's not federally legal, if you have weed, you can't have guns, and I'd rather have a gun because you never know when crackheads are gonna strike.
Yeah, their rules are insane.
But yeah, so at first he was like, I told him like about how I really want to get into electronic music, and you know, he said, hey, do you want to be friends and jam out? And I explained like, hey, look, man, I'd love to, but we have no access to any of your studio because there's 6 foot, like, again, it's like taller than me, just walls of stuff inside his house, outside his house. I mean, you've seen the videos, man. Yeah,
pictures and videos, like lots of barricades everywhere of just objects.
Yes. He was worried at first, which is reasonable because, you know, in the past, like, he's had people who had pretended to be his friend but just like used him and tried to steal from him. But after I had spent so long just cutting stuff down and just kind of reopening new paths, then after a while he realized, well, okay, he's a good guy, I'll let him start selling stuff. I began to sell stuff, and yeah, it just went from there.
And then just blossomed into a lifelong partnership. That's awesome, man.
Horrible.
You seem like you are a diehard MDE, Sam Hyde, Nick Rochefort, Charles Carrol fan. What was your first interaction with MDE? How did you discover them, and what drew you towards them and their comedy?
Believe it or not, I'm kind of not a diehard fan.
Really?
I still have not had the time to sit down and watch a single episode of MDE. So I've always used Funny Junk since way back in 2003, and I just stuck with it because, you know, Reddit started heavily censoring. Oh yeah.
Shit. Oh wow.
And it, like I said, it's like the only place that you can still go and you can call people whatever you want in the world, as long as you don't violate like the basic rules, like, you know, no doxing, no outside the not safe for work section, no like actual illegal shit, and don't try to bully the mods or the site owner, and you'll be fine. So it started with like a couple of clips being posted there, here and there, of like Sam's silly skits, and then it was, you know, the joke of anytime there's a tragedy, there's always some news station that falls for the old gag of like slightly editing Sam Hyde and saying, oh, he's the ghost of Kiev, or he's the shooter.
Yeah, Samantha Hyde and all that stuff, like the blonde one of him is a woman. Yeah.
So that's how I kind of learned about him. And it wasn't until I joined in the Guy Heaven group because of a late friend of mine named Ayana De Simone, who told me, hey, look, you like to make shit posts and you don't really care about being banned or being edgy. This is a good group for you. I didn't really know it was like a Sam Hyde fan group, but he told me like, hey, yeah, you know, we know that Sam on occasion will like be in the group. And then when Fishtank came, a second group was made called Fishtank.Live Heaven. And then when I saw Fishtank, yeah, this is an environment where you can kind of do whatever you want and say whatever you want. And unlike different reality shows or game shows, it's not really going to be scripted, and they're not going to kick you out for some gay shit. I was like, yo, holy shit, I can finally unleash a bunch of pent up shenanigan energy, you know? Actually, I made 3 different audition tapes because I'd seen the initial audition that they had released November before season 1. So what would that be, 2022? But at that time, I was going through it with my ex, who had lived with me. She was 25. We had gone to college together. I didn't know she had a past with heroin, and I found out that she had relapsed on the stuff behind my back, and, you know, like, she wasn't helping me out with bills or anything.
Man, sorry to hear that, man.
Man, it's what the fuck ever. It was just a whole nightmare, and then I felt bad because I saw myself as like a failure who didn't fucking realize, okay, that's why she was acting so fucking weird. So
you were beating yourself up for not seeing like the signs.
Yeah, and like, you know, I'd spent all this money to get her weed and shit to help her out, just for her to again just like stab me in the back. This whole mess. So like, I was just absolutely fucking miserable. I'd seen it and I was like, yo, get me in. You don't have to give me any direction. I'll just do funny shit. Kind of seeing like, okay, wait, this is something that I've always wanted to unleash shenanigan energy.
That's crazy that you went from like doing these auditions and everything to actually getting a call back. Were you pretty astounded when you got that call to go into season 2?
Yes, because so my first audition was a 13-ish or whatnot, like a fish tank. I think John had just left, and I had sent like my first 2-part audition. Then after that, I had made like an hour-long one right after season 1 ended, just showing Hoardermans, because I was like, well, listen, I'd even sent, I kept like spamming like the fan group, like, where do I send this to? And they thought I was annoying at first, but then they realized, okay, so he just sees it as potential to like let himself let loose to be actually funny and entertaining, and he's trying to like hopefully get a bunch of shit from Hoardermans just sold to the show for no profit, just so space can be cleared and Hoarderman can make money. It was just an hour-long tour of Hoardermans. I'd written in it that I was too much of a weak to move and sell it all on my own, and that's why I shit myself. Apparently they weren't sure whether or not I knew a fish tank or anything, and I guess that's why they never told me like, oh yeah, you're the only plant, like they did with everyone else. But when Sam said some of you might be a weak and he looked at me in like that first day of season 2. That's when I was just like shitting myself like, fuck, they know.
Yeah, he's on to you. What was your game plan going into season 2? Because you were one of the very first people to even do things like code words with outside friends. Like you really, like you straight had some Batman prep time with that.
That wasn't even necessarily my idea. Goon, who I've been talking to, and who had also, because, you know, I kept spamming the group chat, like, well, what is the Craigslist ad even going to look like? They said it'll look something like this, and he just, like, posted it. And then that's when I sent my third audition that got me in and just pretended I'd never sent any other ones. I guess thank God that Jet never checked his DMs, so I sent him up the other videos.
Oh, man.
He came up with that one, and I explained to him, like, because there's some of it where it's like, find a way to fuck with Jet today. I was like, look, like I'm not doing that because I'm not trying to like rock the boat.
Yeah.
But that's where that had come from. And you can actually see it be used once when TJ rang the bell on me the first time after the bread incident. You can hear a code go through and it says get ready, and that's when you see me just go into the closet and just change into like my jeans and whatnot.
Did you enjoy your time overall on season 2 though? Like, did you have any favorite parts, or did you have some least favorite parts?
My least favorite part was probably like after Brian had gotten eliminated, where it's just all the pressure just put on me.
And you two were strong allies too.
Well, I mean, like, you know, after the cell, me and Tayleigh and me and Shinji were like close day one because he was the only one laughing at my joke. Oh, I love Shinji so much. Like, if I had the money, I'd just say, fuck it, I'd be going to Japan to just do shit with him all the time. Like, not even fish tank related, but...
Fuck you up. This is our turf now. Tokyo Manji, you ain't shit. You ain't shit. We the real brothers out in the...
Do you still talk?
We talk here and there. He's hard to get into contact with because obviously he's out in Japan. So there's that whole issue of I can't exactly have his cell phone.
You're on polar opposite time as well.
Yeah. But me and him still do talk here and there when we can. He seems to be doing good, which is good.
That's good, man. I'm really happy to hear that.
In terms of favorite moments, I loved being Cole's like detective assistant, because when they gave Cole that gaslight, I was like excited where it's like, oh boy, there are clues in this house.
I mean, I'm just saying, where did JC have them last?
They're on the shelf.
And when did she see them last?
A couple hours ago, right?
Well, define a couple hours. Was it before the peak? Was it before the peak?
After the first night at the doghouse, when Ben and Jet thought I was like destroying underneath the bunk beds, and then they realized, oh wait, Jimmy just thinks that this piece of plywood that we have down is like another hidden room.
They had to stop you from like making more holes.
No, yeah, that was a good bit. I did like bothering Chris Lynch and his girl time by just kicking open the door because of quotes I said. They're for my childhood friends back home. Me, one of my best friends, and another really good friend of mine, we all went on this. My dad took us all skiing in 8th grade, and we stopped by this place called Pizza Como, which we call Pizza. And there was there's this poster saying, not a puppy mill, a home. And we just started like quoting that, and then we kept making pizza jokes, like asking, why is there a penis in my pizza crust? And all this other stuff. That's where those quotes come from. All the times with Shinji, I mean, just like all the other silly stuff. Like I like to just have fun and do silly shit and just make people laugh.
Did you have like a certain game plan when you were going in? Like, did you, or were you just like, I'm winging it, just kind of going for broke right there?
For the most part, it was just all me. My plan was just like, if I'm entertaining and silly enough, then it probably won't. The idea was if I'm entertaining and silly enough, they won't put that much intense pressure on me because they can see I can kind of keep things entertaining.
Yeah, go with the flow and bounce off of everybody's improv.
I will say my other least favorite part is when someone in the legal department, I guess, thought that I was drunk the day of the bread incident when I wasn't, so I wasn't allowed to drink at all, and that was annoying because it would be like I had to raw dog all the shit I had to deal with, and then like I'd just be sitting there sober and looking at everyone else drunk just doing all this shit and destroying so much shit, and I'm just like, bruh, why am I the only one not allowed to drink? Why can't I be
Yeah, it's like, bro, the hours are going by so much slower for me than them.
I'm clearly like fine when I'm drunk. Like the worst that happens is like I attempt to front flip, and then I just pass out. Like for example, people thought I was mad at Delaney when she hit me with the shoe. I was more so mad because it's like, bro,
I forgot about Delaney.
Like if you could see me in room 2. Like I explained to him, it's like I didn't care about her hitting me with the shoe. I was just still more pissed where it's like, bro, I'm telling you, alcohol isn't my problem. Like, you saw I could handle myself. Like I said, I was more so panicked because that was an elimination challenge. And then when I panicked, like, the brain starts going a million miles a minute. I can't remember if it was a member of production or TTS, but someone said she's a Mormon. And since they brought Brian's ex on, I thought to myself, oh, they fucking brought someone from the programs on, huh?
Oh, God. Let's be glad they didn't. Oh, that would have been so fucked.
You bring someone from the programs on, I mean, well, that's just a free line of really being able to torture someone. And it's like, what are you going to do? You made a living children.
I don't know if you and I have ever talked about this before, but
I'm sorry you had to go through that bullshit, man. But I will say, for someone who has gone through that, because you really pick yourself up and keep going, you don't let shit get to you, and you're like, you know what, fuck it, and you stay in the game. You know, you're really strong for having gone through all that shit. You know what I mean, for real. But I think it's turned you into like a really strong-minded person as well. And I think that's another thing is you would never ever want somebody to go through that bullshit, and I think that you will do anything in your power to prevent that, and that's honorable as fuck.
Like when they did the same thing to my sister, like, and I told them too, it's like, well, it was my mom and stepdad. I even told them, like, listen, if you want to know why my sister's depressed, it's because you sent her off to Westtown boarding school. They fucking allowed her to get lated by some. It's a Quaker-run boarding school, and they were actually one of the first ones to start teaching critical race theory. So from middle school, like, my sister is being told, oh, you're inherently evil, you're inherently racist and privileged, all this shit because you're white passing. They didn't even do anything to the chick who, like, her. They made my sister take these Quaker apology classes to forgive and forget, and I found out from alumni shit like that's been going on for decades there. Still is.
As you were in there, people were exposing more stuff. When you were in Fish Tank, that place was one of the places on the news and all that shit, circulating stories, and it's crazy because everybody was like, yeah, Jimmy was fucking for real, and your sister was posting online that everything you were saying was 100% true, and she totally had your back on that.
Oh yeah, and like I said, like, I love my sister. She didn't really believe me on that because my parents had made it seem like I had gone nuts. Like a lot of, like, my mom especially, like, she kind of refuses to tell some people who are like a second family to me, hey, yeah, by the way, Jimmy never went nuts. I just did this shit to him.
Yeah.
And my sister didn't believe me for the longest time until she went through it. But unlike me, I was there for her when she got out to be like, hey, listen, this is how you deal with it. Like, don't go chasing no highs, don't do cocaine, don't do none of that shit.
Are you the older brother, or?
Yeah, I'm the oldest. It's just me and my sister. We're 7.5 years apart, so there's also that where it's like, because I'm so much older, it's like I couldn't have her hanging out with me and like my friends when we were 13, because obviously we'd be swearing like sailors, and she'd learn stuff that she would be way too young to know to learn. And then of course I'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
So it was never out of any hatred.
Just protection, solely.
I mean, it's just like, you know, again, you're just so much older than her, where if you did bring her in, you know that, like, she'd either tell on you to mom and dad, or she'd learn something she shouldn't know. Like, obviously, I wasn't going to be smoking weed around, like, my baby sister.
No. Yeah, I remember you said on season 2 as well that, I remember you said she was somewhat of, like, the golden child and whatnot.
For me, it was like, I'd get, like, ever since a young age, like, I'd get disciplined severely. But then, like, it was like a case of, like, she'd get away with everything. She was she definitely picked up on school a lot better. I had ADHD, but the violent kind, you know, kindergarten through 3rd grade. So if any kid remotely looked like a cliche bully that I would see on TV, I just beat them up. Or I daydream. Like, have you had, like, the ADHD moments where, like, you daydream so vividly that you don't realize you're doing something?
A big thing throughout my life is to tell myself to stay in the moment, even to this day. Yeah, and, like, get out of my head. So I totally feel
that's something I honestly struggle with. Like, I'm always thinking about the future, or as I've explained to people, the way my brain works is like a 4D camera. I can remember everything from age 4 to now crystal clear, but I have no control over that camera necessarily, so it'll just be like good memory, bad memory, funny memory, whole 9 yards, but it'll be like I'm there again. Not necessarily PTSD where it's strictly the bad. People will think that because, I don't know, like someone will ask me like, oh, can you explain this bad moment in your life? And I'll go into it in detail and get mad, and then I'll be like, oh, why are you so upset?
You're also a creative person, so I think that when you're creative and you have a good vivid imagination, you know, and I also noticed that you're a really good artist, so that's another thing, is you're good at building pictures and scenarios in your head. You've probably written stories in your lifetime before, so that's probably another thing. I feel you on that, where it's like, everything's okay, it's not in that moment, that's the past, I'm good. I feel you, man, and it can kind of fuck with your mood a little bit, and sometimes even your like relationships with, whether it be romantic or friendship or family, you know, it can kind of like get to you a little bit.
The worst, I've got it managed, because obviously, you know, like I've been dealing with it like my whole life. Yeah. I have it managed, but I always let like any new friend or any girlfriend know, like, hey, listen, on occasion you'll hear me laugh or yell shut up at no one, or I'll look really upset. It's just like the flashback or my brain just being like, hey, remember this?
Yeah.
And then that's to like snap me out of it.
And it's like, yeah, no, if you went through season 2 and saw the things that like me and Tay went through, it's It doesn't even pale in comparison.
You said on season 2, and I remember this because this sparked a note in me. So I'm actually a voice actor, and I saw that on season 2. You said that you wanted to be a voice actor. Is that still something you'd like to do now?
Oh yes, actually, like I said, I do volunteer for a radio station. I was actually, before I went on to season 2, I actually recorded a bunch of voice lines. I was that year's Santa Claus. I also did like the Valentine's Day bumpers and whatnot. Yeah, like character voice acting and whatnot has always been a dream job of mine.
Are there any like specific cartoons or video game characters, or like any voice actors in real life that, you know, inspired you to pursue that, or that really sparked the interest for you?
Did you ever watch Bleach?
Absolutely, yeah. Johnny Young Bosch, who does the English voice of Ichigo.
What really inspired me is this was a filler one. Remember that one where like they had to protect that princess chick, and then there's like just that one guy who's just completely monotone, and it's just like the worst voice actor, where when he's supposed to be expressing emotion, he doesn't at all. He was like one of the villains in it, but
was it the guy with the rose petal sword?
No, not the guy with the rose petal sword. It was the one bad guy. He was like the assistant to the new captain, who was revealed to be the main villain. But he was like, now I'll show you why I could never join the 13 guard squads, or something like that. And it's like, you're doing the voice wrong. What the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But it was just that, and like you hear, I don't know, in the gas station, you'll just hear like some voiceover, and you're just like, what? I mean, there's Mel Blanc. There's obviously people like the people who did the voices of Ed and Eddie.
Oh, dude.
Just that whole show in general.
Fuck yeah.
I'm really sad they haven't been able to find any new work. And apparently the one who voiced Double D asked for a pay raise, and he was threatened by the production company that they were going to blacklist him.
Oh, that was the one who did Eddie's voice. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, and that's so sad, and I hope he comes back at some point, man, because he was amazing.
What also just inspired me, other than, you know, just TV and shows in general, just taking an absolute nosedive in terms of writing and just quality. It's rare to find, it's damn near impossible these days to find a show that's not trying to lecture you on what politics you should have. Like, I'm just trying to shut off my brain and laugh, or be entertained, or follow a riveting story.
No, I feel you on that, man. It's like when people, it's like stand-up comedy does the same thing a lot, where people are trying to lecture and do these fucking TED Talks and shit on a lot of stuff, rather than just having jokes and being funny. Do you have any like video game characters, or any video games that you were like, oh fuck yeah, I would love to voice act for something like that, or like, oh, that character, that's like something I could do?
Definitely Time Splitters Future Perfect. That's my favorite out of the
awesome
series.
Taste.
Thanks, man. I've been inspired by Behemoth, you know, like the Newgrounds video game. I mean, well, I know it's kind of like a dead series now, but Silent Hill.
Oh fuck yeah.
I did actually talk to, was it Masahiro Ito? Yeah, that's the guy who was like the main guy for Silent Hill 2. But he said that he would be down to do it, but if to get the whole team back together, it would need billions. So I do know how to save the franchise. I just need billions of dollars to be like, hey, listen, just please make a couple of good Silent Hill video games. We won't rush it. We'll just let you guys do whatever.
No more reproducing! Ah, fuck!
Jesus, fucking
No, I didn't mean to do it hard.
These fans is trying to kill me.
Jesus.
I thought I did softly.
You got the call to be on season 2.5 as well as 2. How did you feel knowing you'd be back in action and back on the camera after everything with season 2? Were you ready for this? Were you amped up or like?
My God, I was scared shitless. Same with Tayleigh. As we just didn't know. It's like, okay, are they telling the truth that it's going to be chill, or is it just going to be like, LOL, do the same shit to Tayleigh and Jimmy again? So we actually had like our own like sort of nuclear option just in case. Yeah. It was just going to be like just an act of rebellion where it's like, alright, you want to do this again, motherfucker? But yeah, like I was happy and honored, but at the same time, like also nervous just because we really didn't know what we were getting into.
They didn't give you like too much of a rundown. They were just like, hey, we want you back. And
no, like they told us, but we just learned from season 2, like, take that with a grain of salt, you know? That was like our mindset where it's like, yeah, take it with a grain of salt, that it's just gonna be chill and whatnot.
Yeah.
A lot of people gave us shit, but it's also like, there's a reason why the season 2 contestants acted so differently from the season 1 contestants. Like,
can you elaborate on that a bit? Like,
well, I mean, you know, season 1 was rough, sure, but it wasn't nearly as intense, or like there's no eating raw jalapenos, doing painful shits of your intestinal lining where it hurt to wipe. Like, and there was no like deprival of food. There was no like, oh, let's try to kind of make this person our season slutty by just putting them through hell. We had been through season 2, so we knew to brace for it to be the hell house pretty much.
Yeah, you guys were like anticipating a little bit of the worst, or like you were trying to hope for the best and prepare for the worst.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We were going in there like hoping that was going to be like chill and whatnot. I had also lowered my meds to 37.5. I've been trying to wean myself off of my antidepressants. Sadly, that was definitely too low, and I haven't quite outgrown them. I had to bump them back up to 75, but that's still lower than season 2.
Yeah.
And much lower than the 187.5 I used to be on before I realized, yeah, I've definitely like outgrown this shit. I'm just tired.
Yeah.
And I realized that a lot of that my depression likely stemmed from just my upbringing.
That's a lot of progress. Holy shit, man. Good on you. Kudos. Going on to season 2.5, were you excited to see a lot of the people again? Were you, get you, see some familiar faces and catch up with everybody?
I was so happy to see Morrow and Brian. I was really happy that I could actually interact with Airsoft Fatty, because yeah, he was there as Santa, but that was just kind of like a one-night thing.
Yeah.
And then when I leave, then he came back. I was still bummed out that Frank Castle didn't come. The reason why I brought all that shit onto season 2 was mainly for Frank Castle, with the goal of like, because I knew that when he showed up, that's when I'd finally be able to let loose and go for like more silly shit. Like the reason why I brought Fishing Line, which I did in 2.5 and got scolded. It made sense though, because they explained like, listen, Jimmy, do you realize what happens if the cameramen trip over that?
Oh,
how expensive that shit is.
Yeah.
But Brian tripped over, like when he flips the fire pit. He was mad because at the beginning I'd set up tripwire for the vampires by our base, and he had tripped over it and was so
booby trapped him.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the reason why I brought Fishing Line into season 2. You can kind of see me begin to do it. Like when I tried to set up, the intention wasn't for the pot to hit cold, but I filled it up with cologne. So when he drops it, like I did like the worst smelling colognes that I had. So when he drops it, it's like there's just cologne in the carpet, and now the room's gonna smell like a cheap French whore, you know?
What were some of your favorite parts of Season 2.5 and interacting with all of these NPCs, fighting vampires, having RPG being a part of this, and actually being outside rather than inside?
I absolutely love the setup, just the layout, especially at night. It was like something out of a Christmas postcard almost.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, especially like that main, for lack of a better term, hall that we would go down where like the soda tent was and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like if you're in Schitty and you're going to the arena, like that path you take at night, that looks beautiful.
Yeah.
And I wasn't wearing a POV camera, sadly, the flamethrower night when I had just gotten pissed. And I was like, well, I didn't even get pissed. I was just like, my whole team's down. I gotta do something. And I knew from experience that if you put, you know, like a leaf blower onto a fire or embers, it's just gonna make him get so much worse.
Yeah.
My POV of that was truly magical, where imagine like I was scared because it's like I'm having all these embers go up in my face, but I could see nothing but embers. So imagine like you've seen like embers blowing in the wind. Just imagine just like a whole world of that just surrounding you and you can't see anything else. But it was really fucking cool. I didn't even know until looking back at the clip that somehow I got the flamethrower to shoot an actual fireball before Scott said, okay, Jimmy, that's enough. If you look at it after that, one of the little strings at the end is on fire, and like I blow it again, you can see a fireball come out.
Who were your favorite NPCs to interact with on your time with Season 2.5?
I mean, I loved Airsoft Fatty's character. I loved the blacksmith and his wife.
Oh, they were hilarious. Them every time they lagged, and Soda Man when they did that to John.
I loved the goblin and the raccoon. I especially loved seeing Ty get mad and just being like, I'm fucking done with this shit. Like the egg war, where I just wound up supplying everyone with eggs, like NPC or contestant alike.
Ty's fucking hilarious in general, though.
You understand, you cannot save them.
I know I can't, so I'm gonna save myself.
I fucking love Ty so much. He's actually the very first person I think I ever had on my podcast, and that dude is such a trip, such a genuine guy, but he really seems like he helped keep y'all's spirits up with his constant one-liners. He would just randomly say the funniest shit ever, and everybody would start conversation again. That was awesome, man.
I loved how he did allow me on occasion to just start kind of mimicking his accent.
Oh yeah.
Like when he dueled Xavier and we had like that monologue going back and forth against Xavier of like, you could never hope to defeat our gunswinger, as I'm loading his gun.
Yeah, it was the tournament, right? And you were loading the gun. He's like, yeah, we don't worry, Ty.
Okay, Ty, I help you reload your boy.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome. It's so funny. I had a recent podcast with Vance, and we actually did impressions. I know you can do John. Are there any other fish that you can do impressions of?
I don't know. I've wanted to do a Jimmy impression. I don't think I can do it very well. I don't know if I can do it right now. I'll try to do a Jimmy. Let me take a hit of the vape, get my voice a little deeper. But no, it's just like, I don't know if I can do it. But no, it's like on some real shit. Just like the first 2 episodes of Teletubbies were way better than the next 7. And I just, people love the next 7 of them, but really the first 2 is where it all kind of started, and after season 3 when X, Y, and Z lost the reins and gave in to Z, Y, and X, just kind of fell apart, and I just really didn't see what Tinky Winky's whole purpose was after that.
First off, you stupid fucking.
That's another good. I haven't even begun to like try or attempt a Ty impression, but those are usually pretty good.
Ty's so cool because it's like, I just chill. Vance, he pretty nice. Yeah, he cool on the show.
I hate the guy, man.
I walk in, and my dad, he fucking a flashlight, and I think Jimmy is the most valuable. Cause he cook for everybody. He was like, I don't want to attempt to do a Ty one, and I did a Ty one, but I did it for Ty because I remember I pitched Ty a joke about like a kid who walks in and finds his dad fucking a fleshlight, and rather than being traumatized by that, he's more bummed out that he now holds the dominant male power in his household over his dad, because at any time he could snitch on him to his mom. Oh, what did you think of Xavier Ravenblood?
Yes, I absolutely loved him. Great actor. especially like I got to meet him when I picked up Dunye for the main trip. I got to meet him again, and like I congratulated him. Really, really nice guy in person, but like even had me fooled because like day one he was in just a complete character of like he's this nerd who's paid a fucking fortune to be on and goes to community college and has like restraining orders and shit against him and is obsessed with hentai and whatnot.
Yeah, all his Reddit lore.
Yeah. He was really funny, especially I was happy that he did acknowledge me towards the end when I was like, okay, listen, my team keeps spacing out on what we need to do, so I'm here to step in to do it.
Man, yeah, no, he was such a treasure. He had me fucking dying every time. I've turned into such a Xavier Ravenblood fanboy. Actually, it was a couple days ago I had him on the podcast, and I couldn't even believe it. I was like, holy shit. He's such a nice guy, and, you know, in and out of character, just fucking phenomenal. Xavier's improv skill is just, gosh, like unmatched almost, you know? His improv is just through the roof.
Yeah, I'd honestly love to like get pointers from him or just to work alongside him as a character, because obviously like if you give me time to just kind of sit and analyze the situation, I can bounce different ideas and I can notice my surroundings for silly shit, like when I escaped out the window during the cell, as I realized, okay, we have a crutch, we have bed sheets, and I just like looked out the window and I was like, okay, that's not too big a drop. I was shitting myself because Chip was like trying to burn the bed sheet and like was ripping it. I thought it was like a much bigger drop than it was. It really wasn't that much.
You're about to just fucking do a Escape from Alcatraz type shit.
I mean, I pretty much did, and then everyone thought, and it was funny because like everyone was bummed thinking I'd like actually jumped out the window and run away. Man. And that's why that's why I went back to the cell to be like, no, I'm here.
Man, how'd you learn how to cook so good, man? Everybody I talked to said that not only did you keep them fed during 2.5, but they said your food was damn good.
I had actually got Blina help teach me. She gave me some tips on like how to season stuff. I always knew to like at least season meat with salt and pepper so that way it's not too bland. I personally don't mind an unseasoned burger, but I know that like a lot of people, they want flavor in it, or a bit more flavor than just the meat. So that's how I learned that. And she taught me how to use a cast iron pan, and that's what really helped me out, because you can actually see Jet when like he's giving us cleaning supplies. I explained to us like, no, Jet, you can't like use soap water and you can't scrub a cast iron, otherwise it'll get ruined. So that's why I just melt butter on it.
How was it for you working alongside John? Because I thought you two at first would be like best friends or something like that, but of course there was a little bit of tension between you two that would lead up to the boxing match.
I felt bad because when he had arrived, I was dead tired and I didn't have the energy to hop out and be silly with him. Similar to how the first night the raccoon shows up, I was just passed out because I think at least for like the first couple of days, I'd be like the first one up. I'd go out and like check for loot and whatnot. But no, he was fun to work with. Like you'll see moments like, you know, me and him had talked about it before, and you'll see moments where he allows me to kind of, as a joke, mimic his speech impediment. Like when I'm explaining to him that there's someone there on the other side, I say, no, not the Kamawa. He understands that I was stressed because, you know, like I kind of treated it like, I always treat it like a job. So when they say, okay, this is your goal, you have to get these artifacts and kill the Duke, I'm trying to get the good ending. And then I was just like, I'm about to be punished for shit I didn't do, and I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
So that's when like I blew up. I was just like, fuck.
Yeah. I'm glad you guys are cool now, man. I can imagine it can be a little bit much. It's the heat of the moment. Everybody's fucking with y'all and poking y'all with sticks at every which way.
Like I said, it was just me, honestly, just like dealing with depression. They did let me use weapons after John. Well, after we nearly got team wipe and I made the corded sword. Like I told Tayleigh, I knew on the farm, I learned on the farm that like if you wrap a belt around a knife, you can swing it around and like do whatever. But no, I felt really bad though when I accidentally, when I found out that I hit Taylor's wrist with the handle and had sprained it. Thank God that there was just a bit when they told me she had a compound fracture, because I was like,
Was it an honor to fight alongside Greg Hellsing? What are your thoughts on good old Greg, man?
Oh no, he's really, really chill. Once we got to know each other, he realized that what people say in the out of context clips, I'm really not an angry guy. Then we became like super chill. Like me and him talk a decent bit.
Hell yeah. Yeah, he's such a good guy. Very genuine.
And that's why that's actually why I was in the Greg movie.
Your Metal Gear codec?
Yeah, he really is a chill guy. Strong as a fucking ox.
What did you think of your team that you worked with on season 2.5? How did you think everybody worked together? How did you think everybody stood their ground by each other?
I think everyone did good. I just felt bad, especially in the beginning, because it's like, yeah, I could heal. I think Soda Man explained it. I know he's explained it a few times, especially on live streams me and him have done. The NPCs and vampires weren't always able to be informed of who has what powers, so obviously they gave me like the Jimmy power-ups, but none of the vampires would respond. And I'm not talking shit, but like, you know, lack of communication or lack of being able to get everyone on the same page of, okay, Jimmy has these powers. Mm-hmm. This is how you respond to these powers. Like, I think that was also why I was like, I gotta do something that flamethrower night, because none of the vampires were responding to it. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I mean, with so much going on, I mean, you had the whole cast out there. People were trying to do like the whole cigarette delivery, alcohol delivery. Everybody's like got cameras everywhere trying to check the equipment. There's like a million things going on. So yeah, I can only imagine how difficult it was for Jet and everybody to get word out, even with the radios. But damn, if they didn't do an amazing job though. Like,
absolutely amazing. I do feel really bad because so there was a cherry picker. I'm not sure if it was ever shown, but next to the abandoned RV in Shitty, there's that cherry picker. They were trying to sell it, and I didn't know that. So now they've been having a struggle trying to get the glow-in-the-dark paint off it that says Scrotum Sanchez.
The Joker, here to crack the code on the Rez podcast.
Here's a question that everybody wants to know, including me, man. Everybody wants to know this. Where'd green penis come from?
So I grew up with YouTube poop, like, you know, like when I was in 7th grade, so 2007 to 2008. That's when I was watching Walrus Guy, Deeper Cut. There's an old YouTube pooper called Tom Servo 3, but they had one YouTube poop that I still can't find. It's somewhere in their compilations, I think. I just haven't had time to comb through it, because, you know, it's like they take all their short ones and make like over an hour long video.
Oh damn.
It was called Dickie and the History of the Hiroshima Butt Plug. And then there's another YouTube poop that they also did of the Yoga Barn pilot, where the cow kept saying, "Remember green penis." And all throughout high school, I'd like quote that because it would always get like a reaction or something out of people. And yeah, that's where that came from. I mean, it's just not a good color to have your penis be, you know?
Not at all. Because as Ty would say, maybe that's the result of having chiggers bite your penis foreskin.
Dude, I'm afraid of bugs like chiggers and stuff. Dude, have you had a chigger bit you on your penis foreskin?
No.
Your penis just swell up like crazy. Like a balloon, dude. It's like insane. They do like STDs and shit. Dude, I got so scared because I didn't have health insurance. So for like 2 days straight, my penis skin was inflated, like huge. Like that's the biggest my penis ever been.
You mentioned Bitch Tank earlier. What are your thoughts on Bitch Tank? Did you tune in, and how did you feel about that?
I liked Bitch Tank. I think the contestants did really well. They're actually really nice, because me and Leah were friends for a while, so they got her an Uber, and me and her hung out alongside Mephisto for like that weekend. That's where like the photo shoot comes from, whatnot. And that was really nice, especially because she was just so happy, because it was like she was actually touring America a bit, whatnot.
Yeah.
But not like the usual tourist traps, but like, you know, kind of off the beaten path type stuff. I got to show her and Mephisto, Hoarderman, actually Oddbod, Dunye, and Trish at 2.5. They all came with me, and they got to see Hoarderman as well.
Oh shit.
Got to meet him. That was actually good for like that. Those one like Photoshop DMs where people were like, "Oh, Jimmy beat up Hoarderman." It's like, Hoarderman's in his fucking 80s. Do you think if he was like in his 20s or 30s, I'd be helping him out this much? Nah. Like, even if the dude wanted to, like, he can't really fix his own shit right now. Like, just due to his age, you know?
Yeah.
Like don't be silly. You saw me destroy a wood sign when I was frustrated about not getting the crown. You saw me destroy a wood sign with a foam sword. You think I would not be in prison for God knows how many decades?
Yeah, right.
If I beat up an 80-year-old?
Who were your favorite bitches of the bitch tank?
I really liked Leah, Juliana, and Kato. Claire was amazing. Like, I had a lot of respect for her after she showed up to the cell when the cameras went down. Like, I let her know, like, hey, look, you're doing great. Don't take anything I say personally. Like, I'm just fucking around. And she said, yeah, don't worry, I know. But, like, she adapted really, really quickly. You know, she was just a really good adapter of the whole environment. She'd maybe see something go down once, and she'd know how to respond to it, knowing that it would happen again. But it was like really, really quick too.
Yeah, she seemed to be playing the game pretty good. She had that I don't give a fuck attitude that is kind of what Fishtank needs, because you can't take it too seriously and you can't take yourself too seriously in there.
Yeah, it's like, I guess in terms of favorites, that's them, but I honestly thought they all did like a really good job.
What'd you think about Haley winning it?
I was surprised, honestly, but that's just because it's like no one expected Kato to quit after the Call of Duty tournament.
Yeah.
And no one expected Claire to not have enough roses for the Rose Challenge. But I mean, matchup of Haley and Shoddy, and especially with Shoddy like not going through with like the whole electrocution thing, that's when I knew like, okay, Haley's winning this. But I mean, hell shit, man, it's like good for her. She definitely like did also pull her weight.
Yeah.
Like I said, like they all did really good.
Did you enjoy when Pow NV went in there, Jacob?
Yeah, me and Jacob are actually chill. He's actually a really chill guy, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I love his streams. He is a fucking entertaining dude. That dude is hilarious.
Because I saw on 37.5 milligrams, I was like still super fucking shy going back in there, even though I knew just about everyone in there. Like I said, when like I'm depressed, I'm like really, really self-conscious and whatnot. And like get really shy and reserved. So like at first we didn't really know what to think of each other because I was just like too shy to like try. I do think they can do it, but they could have him, the cliche of like there's some bad evil genius who's kind of like really skinny and like nerdy. No offense to Jacob, but kind of like how he looks. But like they're just kind of like sitting in a control room doing all this crazy shit.
Yeah.
I think that'd be really funny if they had Jacob do that.
Oh, fuck.
Because like, you know that he could just say some shit over like a loudspeaker or a speaker of some sort and just fucking roast the shit out of the fish as they're trying to stop him.
Yeah, he's really good at like baiting like rage baiting people, and he's really good at really just keeping the dead air like out of nowhere. He'll just be like, you guys ever had vegan pussy? And it's just like, what where does he come up with this shit? This guy's hilarious. Did you see the guy that he got to cut his hair and stuff on the Fishtank live stream? Holy shit. Wow.
I was just surprised that the guy said, okay, yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong. That was entertaining as hell, though.
I don't get why people bitch at Jacob too much for that, because it's like, Jacob had no power. He was just some guy streaming, and he wasn't, like, promising him the world or, like, doing any weird shit like that. It's just like, yeah, can you cut your hair? Can you drink your pee? And then the guy, I'm pretty sure, volunteered to eat his own puke, and it's like, well, this is entertainment. Like, if you want to go this extreme.
It's so crazy how much he wanted to be on Fishtank, too. It's like, dude, that's probably the wrong way to get on, man. Like, that's fucked up. Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Like, you never know. They might...
True.
If anything, I could see him being like a good freeloader for like a really extreme set of days or something like that. Like not even I don't think that like they're going to do anywhere near as extreme as season 2 in terms of like puking and whatnot. So I think he's safe on that. But I mean, he certainly showed that he has some wicked fucking endurance. You know,
he's willing to do whatever for that show. Goddamn, he showed that he will do anything for Fishtank. He will do anything for Jet. That is crazy. But yeah, I wish Jacob didn't get any shit for that, because it's not like he had a gun to his head. That dude was a grown-ass man.
Yeah.
So. Oh, speaking of fans, this is something I really want to get your perspective on, because I know they had Oddbod join in, and he ended up being a very well-liked contestant because he wasn't a weirdo. Now, on the other hand, you know who I'm talking about? They have Cryo King, who was just spazzing out from the first second he was there, and just like, I don't know what he expected. What are your thoughts on Cryo King in the cell and that whole scenario?
Like I said to Tayleigh and my teammates after she explained what went on, and like how Cryo King just stupidly decided like, oh, I'm just gonna like roast Tayleigh and then say like weird kind of / fucked up shit to her face.
Oh, that was to her face?
It's
oh,
like,
fuck.
Oh yeah, no, it's like in the cell. I can't remember what he said to her at first, but I remember it was some sort of like insult or whatnot. But it was just like a case of like, bro, if you watch season 2, you'll know from what I learned, which is also like why I really like Tayleigh, and why I also kept saying to her like, you'll make a good wife someday to someone. Where she does not back down. Like if you try to step to her, she'll be ready to fucking fight.
Yeah, she's a tough chick, and she will stand her ground, and she is she's courageous with that fact, especially with as much shit she gets by fans, but she doesn't let that stop her. She still continues to stream, she still continues her crocheting business and all that stuff, so that's very admirable. And she did a great job 2.5, because I was talking with Vance and Brian. Every choice she made, even though she got eliminated, but every choice she made was sacrificing herself for y'all, and like that's super noble. Like that's someone who you want in like a zombie apocalypse team.
Oh yeah, she knew that like I was the same way with her. That's why I'm not sure if it was caught on camera, but during the blood rave, me and her made like the perfect SWAT team, because we just instinctively just knew to like, you know, she'd be in front, I'd be behind, then we just switch and keep switching like that, because I had the shield, so there's like a big horde, I could just hold up the shield and hit him with my sword, and then she could just keep shooting him.
Hell yeah. Yeah, straight checking corners. Fuck yeah. SWAT team tactical style. What do you think about their no fans policy going forward with the seasons? How do you think that will affect everything?
It'll be tougher to find newer people, but at the same time, the main thing that fans would just have to realize, I mean, for fuck's sake, like I did it when I applied, because I was like, okay, they definitely don't want fans, because I want to say they said the same thing for season 2, right? It would be a case of pretend like you know nothing, scrub your tracks, don't be fucking cringy, don't be making like nonstop references to past MDE shit or past Fishtank shit. Just focus on being original while also being entertaining. Like, don't try to mimic someone necessarily.
Would that be your advice to maybe new potential contestants thinking about even remotely thinking about joining Fishtank?
I mean, especially as Fishtank gets bigger, because a lot of people already know about it, even like haters or just people that, like for example, for season 1 for me, I didn't have the money to buy a season pass, so I just catch up through clips on Twitter. There's going to be plenty of people who will just watch through clips and not know the full story, so you'll still be able to decently surprise them enough, but it's also just going to be tougher and tougher to not get fans, especially if the fans are smart enough to be like, yeah, I know nothing about the show. Yeah. I know nothing about Sam Hyde, MDE. I'm there to just be me / just do original and just funny shit based off the environment around me and the tools at my disposal.
Yeah, like go in there with some kind of game plan. Don't just go in there too blind.
I can neither be attacked nor attacking my downstage. This was a great.
What was your thoughts on that? Like the Duke and like defeating him and everything, the final scenario of 2.5. That seemed like as fun as it was, you guys seemed so tired.
Oh yeah, we had a heat wave, and after right after that, it could have ended on a more perfect day. It got to like 100 plus a day. Everyone would have been dead.
Yeah.
Like that was a lot of fun. I was honored and happy that he taught me how to drive manual. Well, he gave me my first lesson and I didn't do half a bad job. But yeah, like he was really chill about it. He only took over because it was like we were going up a hill and it's my first time driving manual. He actually laughed about it, but we both realized that the e-brake was on the entire time too.
That's awesome that you got a good time, man. Did you have a good time chilling out with Sam and everything on 2.5, get a little bit closer and everything?
I wouldn't say we've gotten too much closer. He was really chill, but it's just a case of it takes me a little bit, especially from season 2, to not see them as my bosses. So I guess that's part of like the awkwardness or like the shyness. It's not like out of negativity or, oh, I don't like you. It's just
there's a job to be done.
It's more so like there's a job to be done, and I'm shy / I'm getting out of the mind state of seeing them as they're no longer my bosses. They consider me a friend.
Yeah, man. Everybody spoke very highly of you. Yeah.
I'm happy for that. No, it was absolutely awesome. It's just also awesome to me, like other behind the scenes people who I found out were like big fans of me as well. It was just really fun. So in season 2, it was so much more or 2.5, it was shown much more where if I had blown up at someone or I'd even accidentally hurt someone, like I'm sure you guys saw me where it's like I'd like go right up to them and apologize. That happened all the time too during season 2. That part, it's just that those clips and whatnot just weren't really shown as much, but obviously, you know, like just a clip of me blowing the fuck up without the apology that occurred afterwards. Like,
no, you definitely did, man. And you were also very composed during your boxing match with John. Like, you were super level-headed, you were in the moment, you were focused, concentrated.
So, real quick, so the reason why I came back so fucking livid for the TJ boxing thing was...
Oh, no, I was talking about John's boxing match.
Oh, no, but I'm explaining to you why season 2 I was as angry as I was. Like, it's not so much growth, it's more so when Hoarderman's real name starts getting sent through TTS, then everyone thinks it's oh so funny that I'm freaking out over it, combined with the fact that I'm being accused of looking up I'm being accused of this, like the whole dog fucking thing. And Jet explained to me that it was a joke, but I was like, bro, this is a fucking internet. Do you realize how fucking people are? I'm gonna have to go out of this and explain to people I don't fuck dogs. But then after the mallet incident, they had sent me to a hotel. Look, I'm not bitching, but let's face it, like after I leave, that's when Hell House really became a thing for everyone. When prior it was just me because they were, I guess, trying to make like a new Letty or something.
Greg, when I talked to him recently, he said you hit him up like immediately as well when he got swatted by those whoever fucking piece of shit Fishtank or some fan.
Yeah, one thing that I will also say that annoys me, it's like mainly from haters / fans who want to act all like high and mighty and think they know shit. But it's always like, you should just forget about Fishtank because you can make so much more money. It's like, show me where, you know? It's like, I don't plan to be like some cringy dude who's strictly obsessive and just wants to do Fishtank, but at the same time, it's like, it's a fucking great job and it pays well. Like,
yeah, and it's a wonderful show. I mean, it's entertaining and you guys are great at it. You're great at it, man. All the people that particularly give you shit, like the whether they be Reddit assholes or Fishtank fans, I feel like they're intimidated by how much they have. Like, they could probably relate to you in so many ways, and then they're threatened by that. Like, oh, why is he on the show and I'm not? I think they're jealous of that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely self-projecting. Like,
for sure.
Especially after the mallet incident, like the majority of the same dudes who were screeching at me for that, for the bread incident, whole 9 yards, they would go to any and all female fans I had and just be vicious to them. And like, we're all just sitting there like, bro, are you fucking for real right now? Like, you see the irony in this?
Yeah. When they probably hate on women way more than anybody that, you know what I mean?
They do, because it's like, they're doing the very same things they accuse me of doing, of like hating women and whatnot. Especially when like they interact with any and all female fans I have. That part is an absolute headache, but it is also whatever, because that's just another thing I've had to deal with like my whole fucking life. That's how like I'm able to be like so on the ball with like squashing rumors and shit.
Don't let any of that shit bother you, because the thing is the more successful you are and the better that you're doing, and also entertainment wise, because we're content creators, we're putting ourselves out there. A lot of people don't even have the courage to have a face cam on their streams, you know what I mean? So that's another thing that they're fucking projecting jealousy of and hatred of. And
you know, like I'll just say to them like, go post something, go do something, and they won't do it.
I think that the more successful, well, there's no think. I know that the more successful you get, the more you're going to have to deal with little bitches like that. But that's all right, because you're going to be focused on what you're doing.
It's also like me and others have noticed in the fan community, it's like, no matter what you do, like, they'll always just bitch, even if you're doing exactly what you fucking want, where it's like, oh, Jimmy's being too kind. We want Jimmy to get angry. Oh, Jimmy, why are you being so angry and aggressive and like playing the game meanly? Oh, we didn't want you to be this mean. And it's always just like some baloney like that.
Yeah, it's like when Jacob was bullying people. Well, they say he was bullying people on Monkey, but he was just having fun. But yet when Sam and Nick do that same type shit, it's funny. When Frank Castle does it, it's funny to them. But whenever anybody else does it, they're all meh. And it's like, what is this? What is this?
That's honestly one of the main reasons why I'm excited, and I'm always down to help however I can. However I can help the show be better and just reach a wider audience, like I'm always down to do that.
Hell yeah.
because especially with the fact that the more people are invested into it, like if we can get like a minimum of 10,000, then that guarantees that everyone involved, contestants and staff alike, will be able to get like a good payout from it, you know? Not to mention so much more being able to be reinvested for bigger and wackier things. You know what? One thing I do fantasize about, and I hope they are able to get the funding to do it, I'd love for there to be a season where it's like a fun house. So, you know, like fun houses have like those moving floors and whatnot. Imagine that, or like the moving tube, but the audience can control the speed. So it's like they can wait for a contestant they either like or don't like to go on to a certain part that moves and just crank it up to 11.
Oh, bro, that'd be fucking crazy. That would give you an excuse to have your Joker house for sure.
No, for real. I'd definitely just dress up as like a regular clown.
Hell yeah.
I'd be more than happy, especially if like they had like holes in the ceiling and shit. I'd be more than happy to just train myself to just jump down and just slap a pie in someone's face or something like that and go right back up.
What's in the tree?
What did you think about JimmyCraft being put into your hands and manifested into reality?
I mean, so obviously I'm not the biggest fan of being associated with dogs and women.
Of course.
But it was really funny. I do feel like it could make a large amount of sales. It was just given to some decently high streamer because there's a lot of speedrun potential, especially with how the jumping works. Like, they took away the arrow because I do have it on Steam now. They took away the arrow to show you the next dog, but on top of there being an ending where you kill all the women, because the spawning does stop. It's not like an infinite spawn. It's just really hard to kill all the women. But that and just the speedrun potential, I do feel like if you were to get someone like Moist Critical or someone to speedrun it, then they would just blow up, because the concept of it, even if you don't know Fish Tank, is just so fucking outlandish. It's like Slender the 8 Pages, but with dog / women, you just bunny hop everywhere.
Yeah, don't you do that to go faster, they said? To move faster? Yep. Okay, yeah, definitely potential speed run.
We're being fucking jolly. Being fucking merry.
Do you have any like particular favorite streamers or YouTubers that you're into to maybe get some inspiration off of, or that you just enjoy watching?
So I've been a fan of Moist Critical long before he showed his face or switched his content up.
Bro, I've been a fan of him for a long time too.
Like, I think the first video I saw of him was Oswald the Elephant, but you know, like I love like that style.
Can you do an impression of him, of Moist Critical?
Oh, sure. What's up everyone, it's Critical. I'm in the middle of playing JimmyCraft. Let's do this shit. Okay, I have to fuck a dog. I guess that's the end of this video.
Oh man, you mind if I give you mine? Hey, what's going on everybody? So today I'm gonna play JimmyCraft, and today all you have to do is pretty much f dogs, and you pretty much have to hop over everybody. It's gonna be pretty fucking insane, and if you want to add a few extra inches to your penis, you're gonna go on Steam and get it right now. Yep, that's about it. See ya. I like doing the fucking Moist one on game. Sometimes people are like, holy shit, is that you? And I'm like, no.
I will say my bigger inspirations would probably be Video Game Donkey and Oni Plays, especially the Ding Dong and Julian era. Fucking love those guys. Old Kraken 2 was really funny. And yeah, never really been a Game Grumps fan, except for the Duck Game episode and the Dennis the Menace episode.
Oh yeah.
JonTron 2. Yeah. Especially like more modern JonTron. I really hope he does like a video of the entire series of Kid Nation. His new stuff is fucking hilarious. Like, he has gotten infinitely better, where he's so much more than a semi-AVGN clone.
Yeah, I haven't seen him since way back when, cause like with Game Grumps, I like when they did stuff with the Super Mega guys, but Super Mega, to be honest, has gotten a little stale lately. They're kind of like doing the same type shit, you know? I mean, I love those guys, but it's just, I feel like I've heard all the jokes before, you know?
No, I get that. Oni Plays is still going pretty strong.
Yeah, they're definitely.
Admittedly, if they're not playing a game that I personally know or enjoy or have an interest in, I normally don't watch. But I'm the same way with like any game channel, with the exception of Donkey. I guess new ones who do that would be Maxor. I'm a huge Daniels fan as well. BNSL. That's why I was super happy Deny the Mallet incident when he came in. I was like actually backing me. That would actually be really funny if Fish Tank could get DNSL to just host his own Daniels games. And Seth Zentech, they're all like really, really funny. Maxor has hype, is like also really funny. He
does kind of hyper edited videos. He actually has Seth Zentek being the voice of Sir Gideon the All-Knowing in his Elden Ring video, which is really funny.
Do these people like inspire your streaming, or like how do you feel having gotten into the streaming now? Is that something that you feel like you're accustomed to? Are there things that you want to improve on, or like any future plans for your streaming that we could take a sneak peek at?
I mean, sure. Like the main future thing is once I get my room completely cleaned out, I still have a lot of Hoarderman inventory to sell. Nowhere near as bad as it was post season 2, but still a lot. Once that gets cleaned out, I'm moving my streaming setup into my bedroom, and that just allow me to do like much higher quality streams and much higher quality video games and whatnot, especially in the online sphere. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I like to do, but you know, I live right next door to a neighbor, so I can't be too loud or too wacky. I don't really have the space to do really wild shit like streamers who own their own house or apartment are able to do. It's more kind of wacky Looney Tune-ish stuff as the budget grows and they're able to do more like special effects things and whatnot. Oh, another thing I would love to see is like if the fish had to kind of unlock more of the house, because I think that would keep the fish interested and keep their brains firing. Like, for example, with the padlock, like I was hyper focused on that because it was something to do. So if you want to see them kind of like being at the top of their game, if you give them something to do, especially with like unlocking more of the house so they can go have more activities to do or see more cool stuff, that would be something really cool to do in the future.
Like unlocking a new level that expands the house type shit?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's a really good idea.
The other thing would be if they were to like have them unlock like a main hallway or just even in general, like a main hallway the fish have to do. I think it'd be really cool if they got a bunch of CRT TVs just on static 24/7, just, you know, surrounding the entire hall, so that way like you walk down it, it's some really weird shit, and then maybe have like a secret room in that hallway, like where, you know, like you open a door that still has some CRTs on it, but like you open that up and that's like a whole secret room, like maybe some shit like at the end, like that white room in Matrix 3 when he's talking to like the architect, like some shit like that, or it'd be similar to like what they're going for in the attic, but like a lot more mysterious / unknown. Like I said, these are just silly ideas.
Yeah, just spitballing and whatnot.
I don't know, maybe just kind of bringing on some past fish, like obviously people who haven't really been seen on Fish Tank for a while. Like I know that, for example, like I know that like Sylvia's pregnant, but like even going forward, like even if they were just to get Meg or someone like that on there and just kind of give them direction to like play a character, I feel like that could be really cool. Like especially if like they were to be able to mask themselves so well that people didn't realize it was a past contestant or something. Oh, definitely if they were to do like an indoor airsoft war somewhere, like have like World War II roleplay. Oh yeah, for like 3.5s and whatnot. I mean, I do really like the whole fantasy world. Now I remember. I believe it could make some really beautiful shots, especially if they were to set up like dramatic moments or whatnot, where if they had an area where the windows were like colored glass, because then you could kind of naturally get that filter. Like you could have a blue room, red room, a yellow room, a multicolored room, or some shit like that. I think that would just look really, really fucking cool.
Oh, hell yeah.
And then a super lofty autistic idea would be Fish Tank on a moving train.
Oh, shit. Murder mystery waiting to happen. Yeah, I was talking with Vance and Brian, and then they were... So I remember we were talking about how cool it would be to have like for like a 0.5, like a camp fish tank or something like that, and then having like a Jason Voorhees style like killer or something like that, whether it be Frank Hassel, whether it be Sam chasing everybody, and y'all have to like maneuver around and figure out how to stop the entity or whatever this creature or killer is. Something like that. And then I myself, I was like, it would be cool also, because I know it has to be indoors. If there was like a coliseum or a dome built into the house, kind of related to what you said about your airsoft war, where it's like you have the more physical challenges there, whether it be airsoft, whether it be like maybe a battle or a boxing thing or whatever, or hey, like you said, maybe they could do like a Call of Duty map or some shit like that within that dome or within that room, where y'all can like maneuver around corners and shit like that, and it wouldn't even take crazy much. You could even make cardboard maze walls or something. and y'all could just like poke holes and shoot through or something like that. Like some siege shit. Yeah, no, that'd be pretty sick. Or like, themes for 0.5, or like a science fiction one would be cool too. And I remember I was saying to them if they did like a Fallout style one or something like that, so that, because you know they have their Nuka-Cola and all that, so you could have like Zit Cola and all this shit. They have to stay in a vault or whatever. You could have your vault suits and all that shit. I think that would be pretty sick. Something like that.
That would be badass.
Post-apocalyptic theme maybe, where like Sam comes in, he's got like all this paint on him, he's like, it's crazy out there, you guys don't want to go out there. No, seriously, you guys will be shot to shit if you go out there. Don't touch the doors, okay? Don't get this blood in your eyes or your mouth. It's not that kind of blood. One of my favorite sayings there. No, I think that'd be pretty sick though, implementing some stuff like that, because then you could have like more loot and gear and shit like that you could find, or like level up stuff. I don't know. I guess we'll see as time goes.
I mean, they did definitely do like an excellent job in terms of like role-playing fantasy realm type shit. So anything they do with that in the future, like no matter what, I feel like
you have to keep putting Xavier in, because Xavier will stand by him forever. Oh man, you've been very awesome to talk to. I think you've been a fantastic fish. I think you're a really valuable asset to the crew. I hope that they keep bringing you on, not just for every half season, but every big season as well, whether it be production, whether it be something, because you really vibe with Fish Tank well, and you're really good at like keeping improv up, keeping everyone entertained. And again, I'm not just saying this, every single person I have spoke to on my podcast has spoken extremely highly of you, how loyal you are, how down for your friends you are, and how you will fight for any of your friends too. And I again, like I'm the same way, man. I'm all about honor, and that's fucking awesome, bro. You're a fucking warrior, Jimmy. Don't forget that, man.
Well, thank you.
Get ready for an all-new Fight Night exclusive of the year, starting in a way you never thought before, as two titans, Jimmy and Greg, go in the ring head-to-head, putting on the gloves. January 11th, 2025, live.
Jimmy, is there anything that you'd like to plug or promote before we go, or is there any future projects that you're working on that you can give us a little peek on?
Yeah, I do have a song coming up. I don't know how much farther out it's got to be, but it's a collab. I'm not going to disclose anything more than that for now. I hope it's not gay and cringe. I hope it comes out well.
Man, I'm excited for that. Can you tell us a genre? Or if you want to keep that under wraps, I understand.
It'll be a rap song. The fan of mine who's a rapper. I can't rap for shit, but I'll be singing like chorus and vocals and whatnot like that. I got a Cameo now, so I can make custom vids for fans, and expect new merch to drop soon on the merch Shopify linked in my profiles.
All of the links you'll see below in the description and on the screen too.
You've probably seen like the JimmyCraft Reloaded shirt, like that's going to be one of them, but it's going to be like a big batch of like a decent sized batch, like a handful of new designs, or maybe 2 or 3. I'm not sure if we're planning on holding off on 2 of them or just letting them go at the same time. But yeah, new stuff of that, and new posters as well. So yeah, keep your eye out for that.
Hell yeah, and I saw your San Andreas promo for your Jimmy shirt too. Pretty fucking sick.
Thank you, I'm glad you like it.
Is there anybody you'd like to shout out before we go?
Shout out Oni Plays, shout out Fred Rogers, shout out to all my close friends and family who've been supporting me. Y'all know who you are. Shout out to all the cast on Fish Tank, production and fish alike. I love y'all. And yeah, thanks to you, man. Like, for real, I had a lot of fun. It was a really nice time.
Hell yeah, man. I'm honored, brother, and it's been a pleasure. It's been really fun talking to you too, man. I appreciate you even coming on here, for sure.
Likewise, bro. You have a blessed night. Thank you so much again.
Everyone, remember to follow Jimmy on his social media and check him out on Fishtank.Live. He's going to be streaming on the website. I'm going to have all the links on the screen, on the description, and you're going to definitely check him out because he's going to be entertaining you with some gameplay and various other ideas. Stay tuned. Hell yeah.
Will do. Thank you so much again.
Hell yeah. But hey, man, you have a wonderful night, and thank you so much, brother. Take it easy.
You as well. Bye.
Later.
Up the stories, leaving mental scars, talking about the hype.